One family controls somewhere between $700 billion and $1.5 trillion. That range is not an error, it is architecture. The Nahyans of Abu Dhabi do not disclose their portfolio. 3 separate IMF reports used 3 different numbers. The Sovereign Wealth Fund Institute says 1.1 trillion. Abu Dhabi's own filings imply something higher. This is not an accounting gap. This is a design choice. And the catastrophe that hardwired it into every financial decision they make is a scandal most people have never heard of. Before the oil, Abu Dhabi was a fishing settlement. No electricity, no roads. The economy was pearl diving. In 1958, offshore oil was discovered. By 1966, Sheikh Zayed took power with one conviction that separated him from every oil ruler in the region. He believed the oil would run out. In 1976, he created the Abu Dhabi Investment Authority, ADIA. The mandate: convert a temporary commodity into permanent income. Never spend the principal. ADIA was built quiet. No disclosures, no public reports. At the time, it looked like modesty. It was instinct. And 15 years later, that instinct would be validated by the worst financial scandal in banking history. Today, the Al Nahyans run 3 funds: ADIA, the wealth reservoir, 1.1 trillion in estimated assets, 30-year time horizons; Mubadala, the influence engine, 284 billion, where every investment doubles as a diplomatic relationship; and ADQ, the survival layer, 190 billion, controlling Abu Dhabi's ports, airports, and food supply. Combined, $1.5 trillion. One family, no shareholders, no independent board. And the reason all 3 operate in near total darkness traces to a single week in July 1991. The Bank of Credit and Commercial International grew into the 7th largest private bank in the world, 78 countries, 20 billion in assets. Its founder cultivated powerful friends across 3 continents. Abu Dhabi was the largest shareholder. Sheikh Zayed personally held a significant stake. BCCI was their flagship, their instrument of global financial influence. Except BCCI was also a criminal enterprise with a banking license. Behind the galas ran money laundering for the Medellin cartel, payments for Noriega, funds for sanctioned arms deals. On July 5, 1991, regulators in Luxembourg, the UK, and the US seized BCCI assets simultaneously. The bank collapsed in a single day. Abu Dhabi held a $5 billion loss and a front-page humiliation across every financial newspaper on Earth. The Al Nahyans were never proved to have knowingly facilitated the fraud, but it did not matter. Their name now appeared in the same sentences as drug cartels and arms dealers. Sheikh Khalifa drew one conclusion from the wreckage: visibility is vulnerability. From 1991 forward, ADIA's opacity deepened. The portfolio became invisible. This was not Gulf tradition, it was scar tissue. Norway's fund, 1.7 trillion, discloses every holding quarterly, 9,400 companies. When oil drops and Norway rebalances, the market sees it coming. Traders front-run the trades and extract value from Norway's predictability. ADIA faces none of this. You cannot front-run a position you cannot see. That opacity generates an estimated 50 to 150 basis points of additional annual return. On $1.1 trillion, that equals 5.5 to 16.5 billion per year. But opacity generates something beyond alpha. That $800 billion range is not a flaw, it's a weapon. Regulators cannot target a number they cannot confirm. Every institution that deals with Abu Dhabi assumes the figure is higher, tilting every negotiation their way. Norway knows how powerful it is. So does everyone else. Abu Dhabi knows how powerful it is. Nobody else does. 3 lessons from the most successful financial strategy in sovereign wealth history. Lesson 1. The opacity premium. The less you disclose, the more you earn. Norway built the most transparent sovereign fund on Earth and pays a transparency tax every quarter. Front-run trades, predictable rebalancing. ADIA built the most opaque and captures billions in additional returns annually. On a $1 trillion portfolio, invisibility pays a dividend no annual report will ever show. Lesson 2. The survival scar. ADIA's secrecy was not designed by visionaries, it was forged by survivors. BCCI cost $5 billion and nearly destroyed the family's credibility. From that wreckage, not ambition, but fear, they built the most durable strategy in sovereign wealth history. If you want to understand how an institution decides, do not read its mission statement. Study its worst day. Lesson 3. The phantom balance sheet. When no one can measure your power, you have more of it. A confirmed number can be targeted, regulated, countered. An ambiguous number generates deference, fear, and leverage in every room it enters. The most dangerous balance sheet in the world is the one that exists in no one's spreadsheet. If the most successful financial strategy in sovereign wealth history was built from the worst failure, what is the failure you are still avoiding learning from? If this autopsy rewired how you think about transparency, subscribe. We dissect the empires nobody explains.